Hi there, it's Mr. Jonathan with the Osceola Library System, and today is Bite-Sized History. We're talking about the Empire State Building, birth of a skyscraper. In 1929, the famous Waldorf Astoria Hotel is torn down to make way for a new skyscraper. Investors aim to build the tallest building in the world and rent it out as office space. Originally, the tower was envisioned as only a 50-story building, but the design changed 15 times to make sure the completed project was the tallest building in the world. Construction starts on March 17, 1930, the height of the Great Depression. Many people are glad for the work, even if it is dangerous labor. Once the hotel is torn down, a team of blasters use explosives to dig a foundation pit, and one worker is killed after failing to hear the warning whistle and entering the blast zone. Once the rubble is cleared away, steel beams are lowered into holes that go down to bedrock and anchored with poured concrete. You can see in this picture the first steel beams for the Empire State Building. When these beams were delivered, they were still hot from the factory. Then, steel beams are joined with red-hot rivets to create the skeleton of the tower. The men who walk the length of the beams to complete their work are called skyboys. They even eat their lunches while dangling over the city. During this process, a swinging hoist hits and kills another worker. Once the steel frame of the building is complete, the brick outer wall is laid. During the bricklaying, a worker falls from the scaffolding to his death. So as you can see, this was a very dangerous job, but a lot of people really needed the work because during the Great Depression, there were a lot of jobs to choose from. Then, the outside of the building is covered in slabs of smooth limestone, and the tower will require 6,400 windows, each with a bright red frame. The mast atop the tower is meant to be used for anchoring airships, which are expected to be the future of travel. The mast will bring the tower to a final height of 1,250 feet, making the Empire State Building the tallest building in the world at that time. Inside the tower, bare walls are covered with plaster, and carpenters install doors and baseboards, and the entrance lobby is decorated in expensive marble. Unfortunately, a carpenter dies after being hit by a truck on site. But thanks to the labor of 3,400 workers, the Empire State Building opens on May 1st, 1931. The final tower has 103 floors, and its completion has cost 6 men their lives. Despite its beauty and impressive height, the cost of the project, as well as the financial impact of the Great Depression and World War II, means that the investors will not make a profit until the 1950s. Now we are going to build our own skyscrapers to make our own New York City Skyline. So for today's activity, we're going to make our own city skyline. And what we'll need is some paper towel tubes and some toilet paper tubes. And what we'll do is we'll cut out some shapes. Feel free to look up some of the famous New York skyscrapers to get inspired and make different shapes. Try not to make all of your skyscrapers the same height or even the same shape. You'll notice this one, I kind of hot glued a little block on top, like maybe that's a top tier, maybe that's the penthouse. This one I cut to have a nice little steeple on top, right? A little spire. And this one I made asymmetrical. Maybe this is an Art Deco building. So feel free to look up some of those famous skyscrapers and get inspired. And once you've cut them out, you're gonna hot glue them side by side. Ready? And once you've hot glued them and they're all connected, and remember, try to vary your height so that you don't have them all in ascending or descending order, unless that's how you want your craft to be. I wanted mine to be different heights. And then, once you've got them hot glued, see they're all connected, you're going to paint them all black. And once that's dried, you'll take a smaller brush. I used acrylic paints because those dry very, very fast. If you use oil paints, they're going to take a lot longer to dry. So I used acrylic. And once you've got them dry, then you'll take a smaller brush and dip it in white paint. And you can paint some of the details, like some of the windows or the doors, or maybe only people on the top floor are currently there. And so you'll see I have different kinds of skyscrapers. And this is what New York City would look like if you were far away, maybe on one of the bridges driving into the city. Isn't that cute? All right, thanks so much for joining me today, and we'll see you for our next Bite-Size History. Bye-bye.